So far, we've only talked about atoms, where the number of protons and the number of electrons are the same. Now we're going to talk about ions, which have positive charges or negative charges because the atom has lost electrons or gained electrons. So metals, okay, metals form cations. Cations have positive charges, and they achieve this by losing their electrons. Remember, electrons are negative, so when we lose them, we're left behind with a positive. And it's predictable how many electrons they'll lose if you know their valence electrons. So for instance, if we look at sodium, which is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. Okay? So if you look, sodium has one valence electron. Okay? So what it's going to do is it's going to lose that valence electron to form sodium ion, Na+, which is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Okay? What it does is it loses its valence electrons so it can achieve what's called a noble gas configuration. Okay? It wants to be just like a noble gas. So what noble gas does Na+ look like? Well, what's 1s2, 2s2, 2p6? If you look, you'll see that's the same electron configuration as neon. Now the noble gases are called noble gases because they're the most stable atoms on the periodic table. So sodium wants to form Na+ so it can become just like neon. Things that have the same electron configuration, okay, sodium ion and neon, they have the same electron configuration. They're called isoelectronic. Okay, all that means is they have the same electron configuration. Okay, now if you look, sodium, okay, has 11 protons and 11 electrons. Sodium ion still has 11 protons, but now it has only 10 electrons. Since it has one more proton than electron, it has a plus charge. Now Na will always form +1. It's never going to form +2 or +3. It has one valence electron, and it's going to lose that one valence electron to become isoelectronic with neon. Okay, it's going to gain a noble gas configuration. You'll see that it now has a full energy level like neon. Okay, and you can see in there there's 8 electrons. Okay, this is called the octet rule. Okay, atoms gain and lose electrons so that they can have 8 valence electrons, just like the noble gases. Okay, so a few terms here: noble gas configuration, octet rule, isoelectronic. Okay, let's look at a second example. What if I have magnesium? Okay, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is say how many valence electrons does it have? 2. So it's going to lose these to form Mg2+. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Okay, magnesium has 12 protons and 12 electrons. Magnesium ion still has 12 protons, but now it has 10 electrons. Since it has 2 more protons and electrons, it has a +2 charge. And it is isoelectronic again with neon. Okay, the octet rule says it's going to form full energy level with 8 valence electrons. Okay, isoelectronic with neon, and that's why magnesium forms Mg2+. It will never form Mg+ or Mg3+, always 2+. Okay. One last example, we'll do gallium, which is argon 4s2, 3d10, 4p1. So how many valence electrons? Here's 2. Remember, it's the highest occupied energy level, so 2 here and 1 here. It has 3 valence electrons, so it's going to form gallium 3+. Okay, so it can be like argon 3d10. Okay, it's going to lose its valence electrons, and it forms gallium ion. Again, this had 31 protons and 31 electrons, still has 31 protons, but now it has 28 electrons. 3 more protons than electrons, so a 3+ charge. Okay, well, how do you name cations? It's actually really simple. Na is sodium. Na plus is sodium ion. Okay, you just add ion to it. Okay, Mg is magnesium. So what's Mg2+? Just magnesium ion. Okay, we need to learn how to name cations because later we're going to need them to learn how to name ionic compounds. Nonmetals form anions. These are negatively charged ions by gaining electrons. Okay, so for instance, F is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. Okay, what it wants to do is gain 1 more electron because of the octet rule, so it can be 2s2, 2p6. So it forms F-, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Again, it's isoelectronic with neon. Okay, fluorine has 9 protons and 9 electrons. Fluoride has 9 protons and 10 electrons. 1 extra electron, so 1-. Okay. Sulfur is neon, 3s2, 3p4. Can you see how many electrons it might gain to fill this energy level? 2, s2-. So neon, 3s2, 3p6. Okay, again, 16 protons and 16 electrons for sulfur. 16 protons, now 18 electrons, so a -2 for sulfur. And you can see that this is now isoelectronic with argon, the noble gas argon. Naming anions is just a teeny bit harder, not much. If F is fluorine, okay, F- is fluoride. Okay, all you do is change the last part of it, the ending, to "ide." If S is sulfur, S2- is sulfide. Okay, if N is nitrogen, what's N3-? Nitride. Okay, if O is oxygen, what's O2-? Oxide. Okay, and that's how we form ions, anions and cations, and how we name them.